just run, please? Try a different gear. Like fifth. See what happens. It actually is working fine now. Problem solved. Maybe it did get frozen, I don't know. Not gonna lie, I kind of half expected that to happen. So yeah, I'm not gonna do a single thing to it. I'm just gonna hope and pray it keeps working, because I really don't feel like tearing into that right now. Alright, well, since the John Deere was an easy fix, I figured we might as well do this in this video too. So we need to put the tongue back on there, which I did end up buying a manual for this, so yeah, we have that to go off of. And I learned that you don't actually have to take that tongue off all the way. It's meant to hinge on these top ones and then just fold back. So that was a little unnecessary, but not a big deal. So let's get that back on there. Hopefully the bolts for that are around here somewhere, and get it put back together real quick. Now the bolts. Alright, I found them somehow. So let's get them on there. I got that bolted on. There is a hydraulic cylinder that's supposed to go here to here, I believe. And it kind of looks like that's what actuates the stand for it there. I do have that hydraulic cylinder. I figure we probably should put that on there. So let me go grab that and we'll put that on. Here it is. Looks like the hoses are fairly good too, so hopefully it'll work fine. Good. Seems like it should work, hopefully. The shaft has a little bit of pitting on it, but hopefully that's not a bad thing. These don't look best, so let's see what happens. This is gonna be fun to hook up. It's a little low. Let me hook this up and see if it works. Need to fix this so these can actually loop through here. That's not working. That's working. They must not be the right connectors. Yeah, they're not the right connectors. Wonderful. Alright, I went and got my other cylinder. I know this one works, so hopefully the hoses are long enough. I don't know. Well, I know that's not going to stay in there because that pin's too small. Maybe we can use this pin. I don't know if this cylinder is long enough, honestly. Okay, that fits. Will these reach? Probably. Another problem though is this is way too short now. No, maybe not. Okay, we can probably get that in there too. Helps that this is very adjustable. Oops. Really probably should have adjusted that. That. There should be. That's that can't be like that. This way. Turn this out as far as I can here. I think we're going to need to throw as much as possible. Okay. This won't come off, I'm sure. There, quality. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Clean these up because they're disgusting. Better. Alright, those look good. Let's see if these will hook up now. Might help if we lower this down a little bit. Too far, but some. Alright. Those are hooked up. leave that like that. It'll kind of keep them in check maybe. But I suppose let's see what happens with this. I honestly don't even know how this works, so let's see what will happen when we try to lift this. Okay, well I really don't know what's going on. I don't know how the wheels will go down though, because they're all the way up and I can't get them to go down anymore. I don't know if there's like some type of a pin you have to release and then they'll drop down. I think it's this. I don't know where this is supposed to set, but I think this is actually it. I think. Let's see. Yep, that was it. One little pin. Alright, but that got the hitch up here higher, so let's try to get that connected. Alright, it's hooked up. Now we need to get it off of there. Okay, it's off that jack. So, looking on the pulley pins, I guess. Like that. To roll. Holy cow, what a pain. At least the tires are holding air, so that's a good thing. Let's get up to the house and see what we can do with it. Alright, I was able to get in the garage. I just got the FJ out of here, so it's about 80 degrees out today and it's just too early for it to be that hot in this year. So got it in here. At least it can stay a little cooler in here. But I think I'm going to work on taking all these boxes off. It kind of looks like they are just pinned on here with these pins that go all the way through, and it's kind of the same thing here. They're just like kind of quick release. So hopefully they'll just come off easy. I'm also going to take these off real quick and we'll go from there once I get all those done. All right, we got all that stuff off of there. Actually, it was just all pinned on there. We also need to take these off because they're not in good shape. I don't know, I ain't checked these, but yeah, that one's fairly tight. That one's kind of tight. This one over here, though, is really bad. So that ain't gonna work. So we're just gonna take those off. They're not actually even lined up with the planter there either anyway, so, and those are just for the whatever that's for, liquid fertilizer or whatever. I think that's the liquid, and then the ones back here were for dry. I don't know, I really don't. I could look it up, but I really don't care. So we're gonna take these 4 things off here, and then we need to take these planter boxes off because there's just a bunch of dirt down in there. The guy said he used these to plant sweet corn the previous year, but I don't think he did. There's a lot of dirt in there, so hopefully these work. I really don't know if they will, but it's worth a shot to try to get them to work. So we also could take these off too, because these are also for the fertilizer stuff. But yeah, just getting everything off we don't need, and we should be good. So Okay, let's see if we can get one of these off of here. Pretty sure you just unscrew this. At least that's what I'm hoping. And then it lifts off or something. Do it like that. Or... Oh, no, it just goes like that. And get it off.
Okay.
So we'll probably take this apart and get that corn plate out of there and just clean it all up. And then we should be good. Probably need to take this apart as well, maybe clean that, I don't know. There actually isn't the chain drive in there like there's supposed to be. I wonder if they switched this out for the 494. Because the 495 is supposed to have like a chain in there that actually drops each seed. But that doesn't look right. So we may have to look into that a little bit. As you can see, pretty crusty in there. So we're gonna flip this over. And then it looks like this latches with just this little clip here. And this swings open. And then we got our corn seed plate here. And get it out like that. Which honestly, this looks fine, so we'll probably just reuse these. But now we can get the spider nests out of there and get this cleaned up a little bit. So I want to clean this up now, which there's just spider nests and just a ton of grease on there. So I'm just gonna pick all of this off. I don't think there's not any bearings or anything. Oh, there's a grease zert right on the top there. Interesting. But we're just gonna try to get all the grease off of this, I think. That would be a good idea. I don't know where the grease zert actually puts grease, if it's like underneath there or what. It'd be nice to rotate this, but pretty certain that it runs off of the wheels, I think. I'm honestly not 100% sure, but we might try to just get that to spin just so I can see how this is supposed to work. I think that would be kind of fun to see anyway. I'm more curious. The whole reason I got into all this old farm equipment is I just really like the mechanical aspect of all of it. And so yeah, it's just more fun for me to see how everything actually works. So yeah, it's looking about right. Get this grease off here. That's a dirty grease. Looks pretty decent. See if I can just wipe this off. Yeah. It's looking pretty good. Got some grease packed down in here. Sorry about that, spitting everywhere. Alright, so there are two little screws here that you can use to turn this, to time it, I believe. There are supposed to be some timing marks. I was reading in the manual about that, but they may be hard to see. Wow, that is super loose. Holy cow. That pin. There's so much play in that. Well, timing's probably not going to be ideal. So you can see this here, there's probably a chain that went to this shaft right here for the elevator thing in there, but I think all that stuff's gone. Yeah, there's no chains in there, so I mean, it's kind of nice because I feel like that could have been a pain in the butt to try to get all that working. I'm kind of happy that it doesn't exist, but hopefully it'll work okay. I assume it's just going to drop it and go straight down through here because there's just a hole in the bottom, so it'll probably be fine. Yeah, this is loose, but I don't think we're going to be able to fix that. But we got this moving decent now at least, so that's good. But yeah, that was a lot of play. I don't know, I think that'll be fine. We are just going to kind of want to blow all that out because there's some spider webs and stuff in there. So that should do. I had to refill my grease gun real quick, so see where this takes us. Oop, just right there. All right, well, that's easy enough, I suppose. It's probably so you don't have to take the box off, I guess. I don't know. I honestly don't know why that would matter because it's not that hard to take it off, but let's put this back on here. Like that, and then listen to it be all gooey. I suppose that's all it is. I guess you can't actually grease it from up top here though. You have to take it off to grease it, so I don't know. That's kind of strange, but we're just gonna assume that that's fine. All right, well, one's done. We got the rest of them we can do now. And then we have a bunch more to grease. But that one's done. Looking decent, so yeah, I guess that's all we need to do. So, got 3 more of them to do. And then we need to just go through and grease all of the grease zerks that I can find. I have the book, so I have that one printed off, so I'll just go through and every single one just grease those up. So I was looking through my manual last night and I found out that these little fenders here don't actually need to be on here either. These are just for the herbicide and insecticide boxes that sit on here. So yeah, we can take these off as well, so I'm gonna do that. Doesn't make any sense. This planter was actually outfitted with almost all the accessories that you get for these, so it's actually kind of interesting, but we are taking it back to basics. Basically no accessories, just the planters, and that's it. So let's get to it. I got everything cleaned up now. I got those fenders taken off. It's pretty much how it's gonna look. I still need to take the little disc things off for the fertilizer containers, so those will be coming off, but I was just scraping all of the old grease off of everything, and you can see how much I actually got off. But this was just completely caked. There's still a bunch there. But I can kind of miss this. But yeah, you can kind of see how much was just caked on everything, which honestly is a good sign because that means somebody was actually lubricating this. So definitely a good thing. But I want to try to get as much off as possible, and then I can find all the grease zerts because they're everywhere and most of them look like they're not going to work. So yeah, I basically just need to go through and grease everything up now. So I've gotten everything greased up. I've been turning this over by hand, just engaging it and then turning the shaft that the wheels normally would turn, just to see if everything's working properly. And the thing that I figured out, I'll show you right here, these gears right here, there's another one like right down in there that turns this gear, and there was so much grease built up in there, it had become like a rock. And not this one, but there was one, probably two down here. So this one had enough built up in it, it was actually making it skip. And then this one, you can see, is just complete dirt and full of gunk in there. It still spins, believe it or not. You can see it still spins, but it's just full of dirt. So I'm going to take this cap off here, and that should show me that gear, and I'm going to try to clean it out a little bit and then we'll re-grease it, but we need to do something about that. This one here was the one that was actually skipping, and I was able to find the chunk that was making it pretty much lock up. So that one should be fine, but we'll see. Once I get this one cleaned up, I'll turn it over and I'll show you that, and then hopefully it'll be fine. Alright, let's see if we can get this off here. All the bolts on this have been actually pretty easy to get off, surprisingly enough. Oh, is there not one on the bottom? It's just one on the top, apparently. Okie dokie, I'm okay with that. Figured there would have been another one. Perfect. All right, how does this come off? Just like that. Okay, that's definitely disgusting. It actually looks like it's supposed to be open on the bottom to let debris out. That is completely caked full of mud or old grease, probably old grease, but holy cow, that is crazy. And look at all of that in there. That is insane. It's just completely packed full. I wonder why it wasn't working. Let's see if we can dig some of this out. You can see I got this tore apart, got everything cleaned up as best as I could. I mean, it's way better. I got so much stuff out of there. Like all of this on the floor is all from this. And there's just a ton of it. So luckily the other ones don't look like they're this bad. Actually none of the other ones had near as much dirt in them as this one did. So that's good, but I cleaned up the like surfaces where this bushing or whatever, I don't even think there's a bushing in there, but I cleaned everything up anyway, as best I could. And I also put this through the parts washer, so that's way cleaner. I got some grease in there. So now, actually I was gonna put a little grease in there too. Even though there's a grease cert and everything, I'm still gonna put some grease in here because might as well make sure the whole surface is covered. And then we will put this back on and it should be good. Where'd my screw go? Here we go. Alright. Hopefully this doesn't need to be timed, even though it probably does, but we're just gonna hope and pray that it's okay. Alright, so I learned if we hold this little lever back on what I assume is a gearbox, we can rotate this shaft, which is the shaft that the tires, when they're rolling, move. And then you can see here all of this stuff is spinning. But every single time it gets to this one spot and it's kind of stiff. Right here. Yeah, on that one it definitely skipped. I don't think any of the other ones actually skip, it's just that one. So I'm gonna get it back to that same spot where it skips, it gets tight. Right there. Alright. So I'm going to take that one apart and see why it's skipping. And I guess we'll go from there. Yeah, you can see the play in that. Can this just spin? Does this catch? It does catch there. Take all that out. Oh, there's more. Yeah, it gets bound up back there really bad. Right there. If I jiggle it back and forth, it's fine, but it gets bound. Wow, yeah, I don't know. That one's not great. It's getting bound back there quite a bit, and that's probably what's making this wear really bad. Why don't we go take a look at that back there, I guess. Alright, we need to figure out why this is so stiff, so we're going to take this back off and see if we can work out what's going on here. So this shaft here is what's spinning, and then this, you can see, spins here. So maybe we should spin it with this side and see where it gets stuck. Yeah, it gets tight there. Don't know why. I kind of want to take this off and see what's underneath here. Which I'm going to have to be careful because this needs to stay clocked correctly. Which this one on the side doesn't matter because that ran the conveyor thingy, the little chain that was inside here. But that shouldn't matter. We need to just make sure this and this are the same, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know why that matters because that's not the same now either, which I probably just messed up the timing on everything, so you know. And I'm hoping this is how it comes off. I really don't even know. Seems about right. Hopefully there's not like springs or something. I don't know why there would be, but yeah, never know. Alright, that is okay. And this we can lift off, and oh, I wonder why it's not doing good. It's almost like there's a bunch of stuff stuck in here or something. How weird. Interesting. So yeah, you can see it's all gummed up, and this just has dirt sitting all over it. So I'm sure that's not great. And there's also like that doesn't have any lubricant in there either, which I don't know why that doesn't have a lubricant in it. Which honestly, that might be what's actually catching up, but there's just so much gunk in all this. It's just so wore out, honestly. That's really what's going on here. It's like it's really old or something. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. All right, I have everything put back together. It should be in working condition. I'm sure gears are going to jump, especially that one. That's the only one that actually was jumping, but I just don't care at this point because it's old, it's wore out, and if we can get it to work somewhat halfway decently, then it'll be fine. So I'm gonna get all this cleaned up and get it pulled out of here, and then maybe we'll set it down in the dirt and pull it a little bit and see if stuff engages. So these chains on the wheels, they weren't connected, but as long as these wheels are down, it should be fine. Like, it can spin all this. The gearbox doesn't engage until you pull these wheels up. So yeah, I guess we'll just see what happens. Whatever. Let's get all this other junk cleared out of here. All these other fertilizer and herbicide and whatever other boxes. We don't need any of this junk. So get all this out of here and then pull this out. Get this thing out of here. Alright, as you can see, it's working fine with the chains on there in neutral. So we're to some dirt here. I'm just gonna put it down and see what happens. Wrong way. I don't know how far down to go. Let's say right there. Let's see what happens. Alright, it engaged. Everything actually seems to be spinning. Who would have thought? Maybe it just needed some more force. Lift it back up. Then it should go until it gets to a point and they're disengaged. So this actually seems to be working how it should. So maybe just doing it with a wrench, it got bound up or something, but it wasn't actually skipping. And I was watching that one and it didn't appear to be skipping at all. So, I mean, this is done. It's ready and hopefully it works. I don't have the marker things, that didn't have them. All the chains are wound up everywhere. So hope you enjoyed and we'll see you in the next one.